Peace and bright blessings, guys. It's the Queen of Spades coming at you today. I wanted to discuss some more updates with you guys as far as my coffin spell, which I plan to show you guys how I actually did that, but in a different video. Um, but basically, I did a return to sender, then I did a coffin spell. And I hope it's not too loud, but I did a return to sender, and I did it on a neighbor, that lives, like across from me and is uberly annoying, um, and purposefully does little things to get under my skin. And I have attempted to, approach this neighbor in a very civil fashion. And you ever experienced like a situation where, you come to speak to someone about, some things that they have done to, annoy you or bother you or get on your nerves, and you bring it to them, thinking that talking to them is going to solve the issue, and then you realize, that even with, civil talking, that this person is just going to continue to do what they want to do. Well, that's the situation with the neighbor. So it's a very long story. When the neighbor first moved here, I was already here and had been here for years. And the funny thing is, when the neighbor moved in, you know, um, she saw me, she spoke to me, held a conversation with me. It got to the point where it was starting to um, become like a bit much, so to speak. Like, she just continued to talk to me, and I'm tired. I'm trying to get into my apartment, and, she just wants to, continue on talking. At some point, I had to, cut it short. You try to say, okay, well, I'm going to go now because I'm tired and I'm ready to go in the house and, relax and rest. And then the person starts up like a whole new conversation, like they didn't just hear you say you got to go. Yeah, it was that type of situation. So, which, wasn't anything to, it wasn't enough to make me angry or feel any type of way, at that point. Um, Basically, the thing that ended up bothering me was the fact that this neighbor would start to like kind of like watch and stalk, the times that my children would go outside either to take the trash or go check the mail, or she would watch like the times that my husband came home from work, and she would be waiting on one or all three of them to come out to have like lengthy conversations about really nothing with them. And at first you're thinking, okay, this is just an older lonely woman. I wasn't even aware that she was like paying attention to like the times that they come out and stuff like that until, time went on. And I noticed that like every time I would be, on the phone with my husband, he's on his way home from work talking to me, driving home, and then also, getting out the car and coming into the door, and then we hang up. It's just a little something that we do from time to time. But it was like this was our like little ritual. We did this every day. And after a while, I started noticing like when he would pull up, she would already like be outside. And it's like she would be like waiting on him, so to speak. She would have all this conversation to say to him, but then from that point on, she had no words for me at all, which didn't bother me at first because I don't really care to talk to her anyway because she's annoying as hell. But what was annoying was that what was also annoying was that you know um, when she talked with my son, she had like these weird questions for them, like you know um, what's your name? You stay in such and such apartment, right? Um, where's your parents? Oh, is your dad at work? Um, what else would she ask them? How old are you? What school do you go to? Um, do you ride the bus or like questions that really she had no business asking because it was none of her damn business. Um, One time, my oldest son came out of the house to take the trash or to check the mailbox, and she's like, "Are you aware that, even though school is not happening right now, that there's a food truck that comes out here in the morning times, and all school age children can, get food from the food truck." So my son was like, "Yes, I'm aware," you know. Just being civil and respectful. That wasn't enough for her. She was just like, well, are have you ever gotten food from the food truck before? Do you know what time it comes out here? I can make sure the next time it comes out here, to tell you so that you can get food. It was like overly, like overly, I guess I would say overly being available, like just to talk and conversate about nothingness. Like it almost seemed like she was just to an extent lonely, but like that's not an excuse for me. You start asking my children questions, and those questions stem around things that now involve us or our whereabouts or who we are and where we are and when we're coming home and all these different things. Now I start to shift my view of you and I start to look at you like you a creep because what other reason, you know, it was like it wasn't just my children. Like I had come out my door one time and I heard her speaking to two smaller children, and there was a line of questioning for them too. What's your names? How old are you? What's your dog's name? Which apartment do you stay in? What's your mom's name? Where does your mom work? Where's your dad? Where does he work? Like, damn. Like, are you the FBI? Like, who are you? And why do you want to know everybody's information? Like, I start looking at you like you sus. Because at that point, like, you're not just asking, hi, how are you questions, general questions. You're asking, like, really personal things that you don't have no business. You didn't ask the parents permission to talk to their children. You didn't ask the parents permission if you could conversate with their children and ask them all types of questions. In fact, the parents are totally unaware unless something happens like what happened with me, where you end up, coming out and hearing something, you know. But it's just crazy. Like, so that is my primary issue, with this person. I think that she's like a very nebby type of neighbor, very nosy, and she just got way too many damn questions. She's not asking adults these questions, just the children. So I have a problem with that. Unfortunately, I would never see the other children's parents. So, because my thing was, if I ever saw them, I would tell them that she was, questioning their children. So it just was, a very, and even my children were like, this lady like keeps talking to us. She asks us all types of questions. And my thing is, if you know of a food truck coming out here into the neighborhood and it's giving away free food to children age children, and you thought for a moment like those children or their parents didn't know about that, then you would go to the parents about the food truck and ask them if they know anything about it, and tell them that you will alert them when the food truck comes out here, or whatever the case may be. So it was really crazy to me. And I would be on the phone with my husband. He's coming from work, and he gets out of the car to come, into the house, and she's standing out there, and she's like, "Yeah, they have meats on sale at the supermarket," and um, went from just, simple, innocent conversation like that to, um, "Oh, I see you taking care of your kids all the time. You're a wonderful dad." Or she'll see my children and she'll say, "You have a really wonderful dad. The fact that he takes care of you guys, by himself, and that's just, that's amazing to me." I'm like, "Bitch, he ain't taking care of these children by himself. Like, the hell are you talking about?" Like, it's just crazy. It's beyond me. I'm the one that's here with them most of the time. You know, it's just it was really weird, and it started to give off really weird energy and vibes. And so I decided to confront her and have a talk with her about, what I had observed and noticed over the course of time. And she's like, "No, no, no, you've got the wrong impression of me. That's not the case. I'm just simply, being a nice neighbor, and I'm not trying to steal your husband." And I'm like, "I never said you was trying to steal my husband." I never said you was trying to steal my husband. In fact, I know you can't steal my husband. So it's not even a problem for me. It's not even a concern. I know you can't steal my husband. So it's not an issue for me. Now, if it was a badass chick that looks similar to me, you know, I may have a run for my money. But then in that case, if he's attracted and he wanna, explore other options, then I mean, like I said, we have, an open marriage, and you know, I'm pretty much poly. So it's like, if he was attracted and he wanted, a relationship, the way that we handle things is, we discuss things first and foremost, and we talk about them. And he would have let me know that, like, we have a way of how we do it, and it's a very structured way. And, you know, we don't carry on in our lives like savages, where other partners are concerned, like just slipping out, just being with any and everybody. We're, you know, for the most part, I'm very selective. So, and in me being very selective, I'm very open and honest with my husband about, if I have an interest in someone, or if I'm attracted to someone, or if he's attracted to someone and has an interest. We're very open about these different things. And so before I went to her, I asked him, like, it seemed like she trying to get with you. That's what it kind of seemed like. That's the energy I'm getting. And if you attracted, just let me know. He was like, "Hell no, I'm not attracted. I'm just trying to be nice." She comes up, she talks to me, and I speak back. I'm just being nice to her. you know I'm like, okay, that's cool. So at first, I still didn't say anything because I was still, observing. And then at some point, like I said in a previous video, um, me and my husband and my sons were coming back from somewhere, and my sons were in front of us, and me and my husband were walking behind them, and me and my husband were holding hands. And, you know, as we were walking up to our apartment, she's coming out of hers, and she's like, hi, John. Like, that's literally all she said. She didn't speak to my children this time, and she definitely didn't speak to me. And I noticed that, in fact, when I came out of my apartment, when I was outside, she would just look at me. She wouldn't say anything to me, nothing at all. She had no words for me at all, which I find quite disrespectful because even in polyamorous situations where, I've had partners and they have other partners, I'm very respectful to their other partners. If there's a situation or a problem that comes about, it's never usually from me first. So, I'm usually very respectful and very cordial and very civil. I don't know ultimately, actually, I do because I did divination on the situation. Um, I used my pendulum, and I also pulled tarot cards to ask Spirit to show me what her intentions were, and why she was so intrigued with trying to conversate with my children and my husband. And I also asked Spirit why she had an issue with conversating with me. So Spirit showed me that there was some intimidation there where she was concerned. And Spirit also showed where she was being, in fact, sneaky. And she definitely is and does have an attraction, for my husband. And I don't know if she thought she was, going to push me out the way and step in as Mammy. I don't know what she thought. I really don't. Um, but they did show me that she was being, very sneaky, and, and the energy that I felt was confirmed within my divination with my pendulum, as well as, with the tarot cards. So when I approached her and I asked her, was there a reason why? Actually, I was with my husband, and I asked her, is there a reason why she intentionally and blatantly does not speak to me, but makes it her business, no matter where they're going, what they're doing. Like, if they're leaving out together to go to an appointment, she will hunt them down, my husband and my children, and stop them and conversate with them. And so I was asking her, why she was doing that. And she was like, no, that's not the case. It's no, first of all, I didn't even know he was married. I didn't know that you even lived here. I didn't even know that y'all were together. And I'm like, see, there's a problem with your story because you met me first when you moved in here. And then in meeting me, you met my husband. And then at some point, you just switched up. Stop talking to me, stop acknowledging me, and, just decided to only acknowledge and deal with my husband and children. And that's not gonna cut it for me, and that's not gonna do. Because not only am I picking up on different energies from her, but it's blatantly fucking disrespectful. And I'm not going to sit and stand for blatant disrespect in my face. I don't care what your issue or problem is. You don't have a right to disrespect me, especially if I've never disrespected you. So when I approached her about it and asked her that, and her thing was, no, I don't have any problem. I didn't know that you lived here. I didn't even know that he was married. Like the sneaky shit. Like, I have a nice little way of dealing with sneaky people. And she was one of them. You know, because I felt like I had ignored it long enough. And me approaching her was me giving her a chance to know, listen, I've been observing you for a while. And I've seen you in action quite a few times where my husband and my children are concerned. And like I said, I'm on the phone with him. So when he comes home, I'm on the phone hearing her conversate with him. And it got to the point where I'm like, well, damn, did she have to stop you every time you on your way from work or going out? Like, she'd be outside early in the morning. He got to leave like 8, 9 in the morning to be to work. She's standing out there waiting on him, honey. She was like, she was focused and she was determined. And poor little thing, like, it was never going to work in her favor because it wasn't attracted to her. And you can't disrespect the queen and think you're going to move me to the side so that you can have my place. But nah, it doesn't work like that. That's not how poly works. And she doesn't even know that we do have an open relationship or that I am poly. So if I was just like a normal monogamous woman, seeing you act crazy towards me and still deal with and conversate and talk with my children and my husband, like, I mean, somebody will snatch your ass, like, because you have no business blatantly disrespecting that person. You know, when I'm in situations, like I said, I'm very respectful of everybody's partners. They have no choice but to respect me too, because that's the energy that I give off. But this wasn't even a poly situation. This was a situation where, she just is attracted to my husband. And she thought that she was going to handle me any kind of way and still deal with him and my children. Nah, bitch, you got it twisted. You got it twisted big time. When I approached her on it, she answered in a very sneaky way. No, I'm not trying to take your husband. Nobody said you was trying to take my husband, because in fact I know that you can't take my husband, is what I told her. Because he don't want you. He's not attracted to you. But that's not even the point, whether he's attracted to you or wants you or not. The point of the matter, the whole point of it all, is the blatant disrespect. That's what I'm locking ass about. So it just, it was a pretty crazy situation. I approached her about it, and she lied and said she didn't have ulterior motives. She didn't see me. She didn't know that we were married. She didn't know we lived together. She didn't know that, I was his wife. She didn't know a lot of shit all of a sudden. And so what I started doing was return to senders on her. And, with people like that, I start trying out many different types of baneful magics to see, which one is going to, stick with you. And with each working that I did over the course of the last year, like, she became distant. She became fearful to speak to him, and some days we didn't see her outside for days at a time, like, so I knew that my magic was working. But recently she decided, because like I told y'all in another video, there was, a fire in someone else's apartment. And so we all had to come outside and stand across, the parking lot until the firemen did what they had to do. And she was out there. It was me and my oldest son. She saw me and looked at me, stared me up and down, and I'm looking at her too, like, come over this way if you want to. And yeah, so she never came over there. She, would just glance here and there, and I was looking at her too, like, make a move, but she never did. She stayed very far away from me. The funny thing is, as soon as my husband got home, she was right there to greet him. She was right there to ask him, "Did you hear about the fire upstairs? And is your apartment affected? And my apartment was affected, and I have to go to the hotel for a couple of days because my apartment flooded, and everything was ruined in there, and this, that, and the other, and all this other, stuff." And that's when I said, enough's enough. Plus, not to mention, there were other occasions where, she would come up to my husband or come up to my sons, and she would say, your mom doesn't want me to talk to you because she thinks that I'm after your father, and I'm not after him. I'm not trying to take him away. What is that something for you to talk to a child about? That's how I know your ass is off. So I'm going to handle you accordingly. I'm not going to ignore it because your actions are offensive to me. So I've got to make a stance with you. I've got to put up firm boundaries. Or sometimes she'll walk up to my husband and she'll say, "I'm not supposed to speak to you because your wife told me not to, and she thinks that I'm after you. She thinks I'm trying to take you away from her, and that's not what I'm trying to do. And I know she's gonna come to my door later on and call me a bitch probably, or try to fight me or beat me up." And I'm like, as much as I may want to knock your ass out, I don't think you're worth my time to come and aggress physically upon you. I don't think you're worth my time. But I will do magic against you because I don't have to go to jail for doing magic against you. So in this case, after this last time, I decided to put her in a coffin. And I decided to work some baneful magic and roots on her. And it was funny because, like, I know my magic works, so I don't even think about it again after I do it. I'm completely satisfied once I'm done, knowing that I'm going to have my desired results and outcome, and that's all that matters. Now, with coffin spells, got to be careful with them because people can and have actually died after a coffin spell. And my intentions was put out there like, I'm deading this issue. I'm putting an end to it. And my talking didn't help. My civility didn't help. So now I'm going to come at you many different ways. And I'm going to watch in the background as your whole entire life crumbles because of your blatant disrespect towards me. And you want to be sneaky and you want to say slick shit out of your mouth. And so I got to handle you. I got to handle you because to let you go on doing what you're doing, you feel more and more empowered as time goes on. And so I can't let you feel empowered to keep disrespecting me. I got to handle you. So in this last situation, after this last situation, she was placed into a coffin. And I think she was in there probably like a few days, I think, roughly like a few days. And when we came out of our apartment today, her door was wide open, and there was a moving truck outside. And I thought that was, funny actually, because that just simply means that my overall intention is answered. And I put the intentions into that coffin work, and I said, not only are you going to leave my family alone and stop acting sneaky and shit towards me, but if you continue on in your ways, then worse will happen to you. Worse will come to you. I'll ensure that, because I'm a firm believer in retribution. And I'm a firm believer in having justice. And I felt like she felt, well, what can she do to me if I keep saying I'm not doing anything? I'm not, I don't have those types of intentions. I'm just, just an older woman neighbor, just, just being neighborly, nothing else. I don't have anything towards you, it's no problem with you. I just, I didn't even know you existed. But you spoke to me when you first came to this apartment complex. And we had a very lengthy conversation. But now you don't know I exist, right? I don't know you exist either. It's that simple. So she was put into a coffin, and she hangs there in the balance, dealing with whatever strife and grief and misery she intended for me and my family. She's going to experience something far worse. But like I said, when we came out the door today, her door was wide open and there was a moving truck out there. And as we were walking by her open door, I was like, good riddance. Because you don't do nothing but cause craziness anyway. Like, your energy is all out of whack, and I don't need it around me, to be honest. So whichever way you gotta go to stay away from me and my family, whether it's to move or whether it's death, either one is okay with me. Um, all I do is speed up karma. So whatever your karma is meant to be, I'll help to bring it to you. And I felt I did a job well done. And now I won't have to worry about her no more. Um, acting crazy and being blatantly disrespectful towards me. I'm not going to stand for that. I'm not going to stand for that on any level, not even the smallest, most insignificant of levels. It will be handled accordingly. So I hope that she is moving, because it would be safer for her. It'd be better off for her if she did. But it's up to her. We all have free will, right? So it is what it is. And so that's my update for my return to sender, as well as my coffin spell. When I do it, I put the intentions out there that this issue is deaded, not necessarily to kill the person, unless they're the type of person that just deserves to have their life snatched away from them. And I'm not the one that's supposed to determine that, so to speak, unless it's a situation where I feel I am. Then I will determine that. But in this situation, I didn't feel it was necessary to call the spirit of death upon her or anything like that, or to cause death for her. but I did want the situation deaded completely because it's an annoyance that I really don't need. So, if she's moving out, good riddance. Like, it's crazy, but even another neighbor was like, she talks to my boyfriend all the time too. Like, you're just a weirdo. Like, you can't get your own man. I mean, I got that question, because, and then like the neighbor, like her and her boyfriend look like me and us. So like, you just like going after black men? Like, what is it? Like, I mean, to each his own. You can have a preference and like what you want, but she just seems like a very nosy, nebby neighbor that seems to target having conversations with, some of the black children out here and some of the black boyfriends and husbands out here. And, you know, if your thing is to talk to people's men, at least be respectful and talk to their wives or their significant others too. I mean, that comes off as real creepish. And I don't know about the other women, but I know about me. And I know what I'll tolerate. And I know what I won't. And, it's one thing for you to like him. Shoot, I'm attracted to my husband. Fine as hell. So if I'm attracted to him, I know you're going to be attracted. Like, anybody else can be attracted to him. I'm saying, like, to myself, like, if I'm attracted to him, of course, this woman, you would be attracted to him too, because he has attraction. And I know that I'm not the only one in the world that would be attracted to him. Just as he has attracted me, he can attract many others if he wants to. But what you're not going to do is disrespect me by trying or attempting to invalidate my presence. Because once I see it, I'm going to deal with you. And it's not going to end up so pretty for you at all. And so I'm glad if to see that she is moving out, because like I said, it's much safer for her if she does go. Otherwise, she could end up seeing many unforeseen circumstances and situations. And I hate to go there, but I first try to talk to people first. And when they act like assholes, then that leaves me no choice but to do what I have to do. And I'm unapologetic about it, because I've already tried to talk to you and be civil with you about this, and you didn't receive that. So now I'm going to be the witch bitch that I am. And I'm going to fuck you up either way. So that's how I feel about that situation. Let me know if some of you guys out there can relate, because I think the situation is crazy. Why did it even have to be a situation to begin with? So the overall outcome was exactly what I desired. And so, you know, she does live with her mother, who is very elderly as well. Um, but so I don't know if it was her or the mother moving out, or just the mother, or just her. I don't know. But I guess only time will tell. But I can definitely tell energetically that my workings have proved to make some shifts and changes for me once again. And this is definitely proof of that. And so at the moment, I'm completely satisfied. I have no need to do anything else to her, um, as long as she stays in her place. So that's all I have for um, my return to Cinder and Coffin update. And yeah, so I look forward to speaking with you guys again very soon. And I hope you guys have a blessed day, night, evening, whatever it is where you are. And let me know in the comments down below if you if this video resonates with you, or if you have been in similar instances or situations. And just leave a comment below, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you can be made aware of any future videos that come out. Okay? I look forward to speaking with you guys soon. All right? Peace and bright blessings.